Hello, dear human family. We're on here. Good. 10 seconds in. All right. Again, I'm doing this for the second time. I'm just getting started here. I'm just going to try and share this link first. Thanks for everyone who's a part of this. Awesome. So I've got 3 people watching me in this moment, 3 witnesses to the Gnostic reality takeover. Very good, very good. All right, so let me share this in our group. Hey, dear brothers and sisters, going live now. Join in. Good. All right. So the topic: a big week to shift an entire reality. So what do I mean by this? Okay, let me close this. Let me see me here. So what do I mean by this? Well, hey, hi Mina. Good to have you here. Hope you can understand a little bit better English, but we'll try, because can't keep switching German English. I mean, I can do, but little bit worry, little bit confusing for the people. But let's see. So this week is a big week, due to the fact that since ancient times, going way back, okay, we can't put a year on that, the equinox points have always served as the main orientation points throughout the time-space continuum. Okay, so for me, the new year doesn't start on the 1st of January. Okay, just have a look out into nature and you see that, well, pretty much nothing's changed from one day to the other. So I hope my microphone is working here. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, good. So there is no new year on the 1st of January, but for me, there is a new year happening in the switchover from the 20th to the 21st of March. Okay, that's where the real changeover happens energetically. Okay, so what we have here, and this is why I'm saying this is a big week, is the start of the new year from Saturday to Sunday, from Saturn day to Sunday. Saturn being the black sun. That's where we get the word Satan also from, and is also the main conduit for what is described as the Saturn moon matrix. And it changes over, switches over from Saturn day to Sunday to the central sun, which is the solar system that is intricately connected to the planet. Okay, and through the planet connected to us human beings. And when you take it right to the source of everything, you end up with the source itself, or what I would call the high source, because some people think, or some demented entities think they created everything, and that's what is called dementia, and is the prime psychological issue that some beings in our solar system have a problem with. Okay, so I've taken a big leap there now, but what I wanted to get back to is that the new year starts on the 21st of March, and this week is going to be a big shift. So this is like a sine wave. Okay, I've talked about this quite often, but it's a sine wave, and it is the natural cycle of creation. It's very simple. Probably everyone has learned this in mathematics. Okay, this is mathematics applied and putting it into alignment with the natural order. So what they do in school is they confuse you with mathematics. I'm a maths teacher, by the way. And they just do not want you to get a grip on the basics of it, because of course they wouldn't want you to understand fully and holistically the basics of mathematics like the sine wave, because otherwise you'd be able to decode the entire system, which would lead you into Gnosticism and put you into a state of knowing, which is the biggest threat to the system. So the biggest threat to the system ain't some guru or ain't some group or anything. It's what they call in the CIA jargon, okay, and also seen in CIA documents of what they describe as empowered individuals. That's the biggest threat to the system. And that's the main goal that we have here on the Gnostic Takeover, okay? We want to empower ourselves, okay? We want to become free humanity, and learn through inspiration, okay? No following, no leaders. No, doesn't say that. There's only strong, motivated, empowered individuals who speak their truth, and through their truth, they empower and inspire other individuals to take back their power, okay? Which in other expressions means to take full charge of one's own being. And what is power but energy? What is emotion but energy in motion? So that's where we get into aligning our interior energies, okay? Align that with the Trinity, okay? The Trinity process, which most of you have probably heard of, but I'll say it again because it's the most important principle that can be discovered, just as important as the sine wave that I alluded to, okay? To really recognize this and be in sync with that and get into it further about what this is about. And the Trinity is to align thoughts, emotions, and actions, okay? The thoughts, the realm of mind, is sort of like more corresponding to the masculine principle, okay, of creation. This is in alignment with one of the other Hermetic principles, which is the principle of gender, okay? You've got the masculine aspects of creation, thoughts in alignment with the feminine expression of creation, feelings. And those thoughts and feelings are interior energies, okay? We're dealing with energies here that are inside the self, okay? Which we need to take full charge of, okay? When you're not in control of your own mind, your reality projector conduit, okay, the interface with this reality, if you're not in control of that, again, that's a process to get into alignment and have a proper basis over and a proper grip over your own mind, then someone else will. And that is the number one insert of the Archon infiltration and takeover of our reality. And the problem that we face in the world is because most of us do not have control of our thoughts and emotions. And that's how we get manipulated in that. Therefore, hence the saying, mental and emotional mind control. Okay, that's the modus operandi of the Archons to take over our realm, which they are failing. Okay, you listening to this? Right, so, okay. So to complete the Trinity process, those interior energies need to be aligned with the outward expression of thoughts, emotions, and the outward expression as action. Okay, and that's where a lot of people stumble, because then the fear kicks in. Oh, what's my neighbor gonna say when I'm gonna speak at a demonstration? Oh, what is my girlfriend gonna say when I don't wear a muzzle in the supermarket? We have this here also. By the way, I'm at my parents' place here. Go and take a little look. All right, let's do a little tour. Can't do too much because I've got the Aku. Look, here's the kitchen. Yeah, here's the cupboard. So I'm in the sort of like nice area here. Unfortunately, sunshine has left me. But it'll come back again. I hope so. Anytime, whatever. And we have this here in our home too. I've not been at home since Christmas because I've been so focused on, yeah, having my freedom. And I explain what I mean by that, to really be free. But we have this also in our family where my mum doesn't go shopping with my dad because, oh, you make too much trouble, you make too much trouble. And yeah, my dad does cause a lot of trouble, and that's why I love him. I really love him because he's also like, no, stick your muzzle up your ass. How about that, huh? How about that? Exactly. So, and my mum is like, oh, yeah, but you should be, it shouldn't be a problem to just wear it when you go shopping. It's only for like 10, 15 minutes. Well, exactly. This is exactly the problem, that we just put up with this bullshit and we lie to ourselves that we don't want this pathetic stupidity which comes directly from the Archon realm, from beings that are suffering from absolute dementia. Okay, have you ever wondered why microwave radiation and this whole wireless technology that is harmful, that could also be used for good ways, as we saw with the work of Nikola Tesla? Now, how does that work out when you delve into the realm of free energy technology and wireless communication systems that don't harm any other being? But have you ever wondered why the full exposure to microwave radiation and wireless technology leads to dementia? Which is also, when you read and study the Gnostic teachings, as I've done, is one of the main aspects to decipher the enemy that we have. Okay. Well, who is Smith in the Matrix movie? He is your opposite. Okay. And that's the Archons. And they suffer from pure dementia. And we can't put up with this bullshit anymore. So the lack of oxygen when you're wearing the muzzle is going to lead to dementia. Okay. Brain damage. Aren't we brain damaged enough already in this world? I mean, jeez. Yeah, it had to come to a crescendo, and I'm actually quite happy that this whole crisis kickstarted last year, because I tell you what, the reality before that was absolute crap. Yes, it was ridiculous. I felt like shit. Okay, I was in the dumps for 10 years. Difficult to get out. Depressions. Oh my goodness me. What am I doing on this planet? What should I be doing? I'm not going to fart around in university and just listen to these people talking shit. And as soon as I say fact and quote the New York Times on it, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. No, that's your newspapers that you read, not me. I don't read them. You see? And I was like, I'm wasting my time here. What the fuck is this supposed to teach me? And everywhere I go, people just want to keep me small. Oh, you're getting a bit too extreme, writing about ISIS terrorists being funded by Western governments. And, oh, don't write about Palestine and the issue in Israel because you might be seen as an anti-Semite. What will the other people think? Oh, you're too extreme. Oh, and by the way, why even bother about these topics, where they're creating illegal wars and create havoc throughout humanity in places like Iraq, Syria, and Libya? Why even bother about that? Because you can't change that. And then they put me in that misery of actually thinking, yeah, what am I doing about it? How can I change it? Fucking bastards. Yeah. And these people, they kept telling me And then I suddenly, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's quite far away, isn't it? But if you keep going, and I suffered for a long time, like, and actually, when you come out of it, it's actually a very, very healthy sign that you're suffering of depression in a world that is a mental asylum, okay, and nothing else. That's if we're being honest to ourselves, which is the biggest problem we have in the world right now. People are not being honest to themselves. And this is exactly the teacher. This was exactly the teacher for me, is how do I navigate through this? If I get out of this, I'm gonna have a proper push toward everything, okay? And then the lockdown came. Then I was still engaged in other things. I was doing activism for to tell people about the rollout of 5G, about digital totalitarianism and the system in China, which they want to make into a global system. I was doing that at the time, and as the lockdown happened, I'm like, yeah, now's the time, okay, to really get that lion out and say, whoa, you want to lock us down? We take you down. That's what's going to solve it, you see? Oh, you're so radical and extremist. Yes, then I'm doing the right thing. You know why? Because you are only radical when you've been radically lied to. If we have any orientation point anywhere in the time-space continuum of our experience as soul expressions of the source, we have any orientation point, then it's natural law and the natural order which governs natural law. This is the main notion that drives everything. Yes, there is a natural order to all things. And every Satanist is going to run away because he doesn't get his way. And that's what it takes to realize that there is a natural order and that we are here to experience and how to put that into equilibrium again. Okay. Study the enemy, understand their modus operandi, and then you'll see that this enemy, or you can call them the Archon realm, the Archons, demons, okay, vampires, who think in their dementia, they think they own this place, okay? They don't. They don't even own their own system, because they would like to portray themselves as the Matrix rulers, okay? Oh, we're behind the curtain and we're manipulating you. And humanity is even in such a state of with the potential of full empowerment that we even have to explain to them their own system, which is actually not from them, but also from the source. Okay, so they would like to portray themselves as, wow, look at how powerful we are. We are running this matrix control system that's technologically generated, okay? A technological generated dream world to hijack perception and to make human beings, who are the only reality creators, create a reality of enslavement for us to enslave them. But they can't originate anything, they can only hijack, okay? They are mind parasites. They parasite off the imaginative capabilities that are infinite, that is lingering within the human being, okay? So the ones who have the very, very, very first say in all of this, of what happens here, is the human being. The ones where all the media narratives are tied against. Okay, absolutely. Do never, ever in the media say that humanity has the potential for excellence, for genius. Okay, every single one of you watching here is an absolute genius waiting to be made manifest. Okay, and there's a path toward that which needs to be walked. Okay, and it ain't easy because it ain't supposed to be easy. And I've gone through this myself, therefore I can share with full authenticity and the most powerful information in experiential wisdom how to get to that genius, which is the most important thing that we need right now. We need rebels. We need mavericks. And that leads to absolute genius. Okay. And that's what we're endowed with. And that is the single one thing that they are most afraid of. So what are ways to realize how to express and how to be in that genius mode? Okay, what are ways to do that? What are fundamental principles? This is what I always deal with, and this is where people sometimes they go on my nerves. Okay, because they want to tell me, oh yeah, you need to find out about Jesus and about God, and that's no. Okay, if that works for you, that's great. Okay, you take that as inspiration and you have it embedded in your heart, and that really makes you move forward in life. That is absolutely great. But this one here doesn't want to know anything about Jesus, doesn't want to know anything about God. Okay, get as offended as you like, because that is exactly the one thing that will move you on in your evolution, your trigger points. Okay, this is what it means to be a responsible human being. Okay, with responsibility, which is the ability to respond. Okay, and not be reactive. The enemy is reactive. Okay, because they have no emotional intelligence in comparison to us human beings. We have emotional intelligence. Okay, but be responsible when you're triggered. Okay, and that's how we can move on properly. I don't need all of that. The only thing that exists for me is source, because I can observe that also in nature. There's a source for every river. The river analogy, yeah. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go and let it flow. Let the river flow. Yeah, that's where the being comes in. That's the real being. I'm the river. Be the water. Be the water. Be flexible like water. All right. So I don't need any of these concepts. Okay. I'm dealing with principles first. And when we're not aligned, when we don't align to these principles, okay, the principles of the natural order, then we're going to suffer the consequences because we are not in knowing. We are acting according to what we think we know and what we believe, which is going to help us. But you can have any belief that you want, okay? If it's not in alignment with the natural order and how things really work, then it's not going to work out for you, okay? There's something that we have to recognize, accept, and integrate into our being. And that is also corresponding with the most hidden information on the planet, which is about the principles of natural law as well as the principles of the natural order. Okay, the natural order being like the highest truth, and from that natural order emanates what is called natural law. And I'm still working on deciphering differences between them. Okay, that's my main mission in this lifetime, is to study the natural order and natural law and apply it to the world. And as I said, principles comes from the root word princeps, which means first and foremost, the most important to know before you know anything. So one of the principles, and I learned this from last year, thanks for reminding me, natural law is what I would right now say is equivalent to the natural order. Yeah, natural law, as I also learned from George. Very good expression. Okay, and one of the principles I want to share with you now, where you can really get motivated, because we're here, I don't know where it is anywhere else in the world, a bit confused on that right now, but here in Europe, we're in the beginning of springtime, okay? 15th of March. And what happens now is that the energy is picking up again. Oh, it's going up. So we're moving out of one phase which had its starting point in its equinox point, the 21st of December, okay, where the sun is at its lowest. And from the 21st of December till the 21st of March, we have the phase of decay in the Hermetic teaching, okay? Decay, destruction, okay? You look outside your window and you've got winter, nothing grows, okay, except when you've got something inside, an artificial sort of container where you grow things. But outside, well, good luck with putting those seeds in there. It ain't gonna work, okay, because it's not the right time for it. And this is also a aspect of nature, destruction, decay. But with the Hermetic saying, which says decay is the beginning of all birth. So this is something that a lot of people have troubles with, is the aspect of decay and the aspect of destruction. Okay, this also has to do with shadow integration work. Okay, and integrating that shadow into a balance, so we become that balanced being that we really are, and from where our suffering is more and more, layer by layer, removed from our experience. Okay, and that corresponds with the phase of decay from the 21st of December to the 21st of March. So now, and that's why this week's so important, because we're getting to that 21st of March, 20th and 21st of March, New Year, and the fire is ignited, yes. Because at the beginning of this year, the 21st of March, you have, again, this sine wave that starts, okay? Thinking in terms of the universe in energy, frequency, and vibration. And it's the sine wave that kickstarts the cycle of creation. And you have four main points, okay? You have the peak, then you have the 0 point, and then you have the lowest point, and then again a 0 point, okay? These are 4 points in this cycle, in this natural cycle. And I just said that on the 21st of March is the beginning of the element of fire, the ignition of fire. So the 4 points correspond directly to the 4 elements in nature. And energetically, I don't know if you've been experiencing this in your life, there's massive things going on in the world. Absolutely massive. And one of the points, this is also really important to get across for people to get some perspective and some motivation that things are moving in the right direction. Do you know how you know that there is an awakening happening? When you can observe an acceleration of the agenda. So when you've got your they live glasses on properly, okay, and you observe the world, you can decode it correctly, okay, and that's where the calmness comes in, and you're like, the enemy that we're dealing with in this world is actually a demented entity which has demented agents working for it. I don't have to worry about that. I'm a genius waiting to happen. Why worry about dementia? Are you going to worry about a demented old woman trying to get your attention? Are you going to worry about that? Well, that's Satan and his minions, okay? His little puppets, his little boys and girls. Dementia, okay? Don't have to be scared of that. The only thing that is scary maybe is to align with your emotions again. The emotion of fear and owning that. That takes courage. That is a deep process that I also engage in. Okay. But coming back to the natural cycle. So now, and this is what happened last year to me, is that I started on like the beginning of May to really insert myself into this cycle. So from 21st of March to the 21st of June, where you have the summer equinox points, you've got the element of fire, and when you insert yourself in that element of fire at any point, okay, and as I say with the Trinity, to align thoughts, emotions, and actions, when you come out and you start implementing and doing that which you intend for, okay, intention is the most powerful thing in the universe, in the multiverse, throughout the source expression of life, throughout the dimensions. There is nothing more powerful than intention. And the only thing that trumps intention, which originates from intention, that's why it's not big or strong, it's just another part of intention, is acting upon this intention. This is what shifts reality. When we act according to what we know and to what we intend. So I did that last year in May. So I was like, this is not going to end, is it? You know, we've had nearly 2 months now of this the sea, the crisis. This is not going to end. Okay, so looking around me, it's like, all right, so it has to be me. Good. So I got the opportunity to go to a demonstration not far from here, and it was the first time I met with the people there, with Florian and the crew, and we just started, hit it off. You know, the first demonstration, boom. And we had no stage, nothing we had. Just Florian, the organizer of the Linz demo. We just had the 45th time on Friday, 45 times out throughout the cold winter. Don't give a fuck, because you lock us down, we take you down. Zoom, who are you to doubt it? And in the beginning, we were just standing on his bus, just standing on the bus. And as I was walking up on the stage, because I asked Florian, I looked up to him and I said, do you mind if I could also say something? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. I don't want to do this whole thing on my own. You know, I don't just want to speak on my own. Of course, come up. Didn't know each other. Now we're very, very, very good friends. And I just went up the bus and I nearly freaking fell off the bus because I was so shaken. What am I going to say? What are they going to think about me? Am I going to hit the right words? Just start talking. Cut out the drama. And when you make a mistake, well, guess what? That's human. That's called being a human being. Only the machines are perfect, okay? We learn from mistakes. And I studied mathematics and history to become a teacher, okay? Teaching and learning is most powerful when you make mistakes. The only real problem with mistakes is when you continue making the same mistakes. And that's also the definition of insanity, okay, which they are. And they want to lure us in to be as insane as they are. That's what they invite us to be like them, is insane. And insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again and expecting different results, which is not possible. When you always have the same cause and the same causes you put into effect, you're going to always have the same effects. Okay, everything else is insanity. So I just did it. And I had my first speech and people were applauding and I was like, hang on a minute, maybe I'm doing something right here. Maybe actually I'm doing something right here. And things just came directly into me, you know, and not everyone's made for public speaking. Doesn't mean that everyone has to do that. But I tell you, in that organizational team in Linz, there's people that never go on the stage, and they're probably the most important people of the lot. People like Christoph, for example, who always sets up the technicalities, which if you give that over to me, you know, you're going to have a really, really big bomb dropping of chaos and catastrophe. Yeah, you wouldn't want to put that into my authority, but put me on a stage, you know, and I know how to have at them, how to really make them tremble. Because I'm talking about liability. Yeah, guess what? The criminals in the background, the mafia network. Oh, you're so powerful. No, you're not. You are a mafioso, and a mafioso is only regarded as powerful because of the perceptions of other people. And the perceptions of other people about the mafioso is what makes a mafioso. When in actual fact, he's a bluff. They're a bluff. They're not powerful. They are not powerful. And you know why? You know why their agenda is failing and failing miserably? Do you know why it's failing? First of all, I said because of how can you realize there's an awakening going on in the world? Because of the acceleration of the agenda. They are not like that. When you look at the implementation of the European Union, I mean, that's as sneaky and sleazy as it gets. Oh, a little bit here and a little bit there. And we've got a fascist communist dictatorship implemented in Europe, and no one even knows what it is. It's like, oh, that European Union, oh yeah, they just want our peace and safety. Yeah, sure they do. Shithead. 2008 financial crisis, huh? Get a life. Study. But it's another topic, okay? So why is their agenda failing? Because of this principle, okay? And there's always more to know about everything, but this is why they are really failing. So that's why I say they're demented, and it is their dementia that's driving them. They want more and more power throughout the world. They want more and more power over everyone, trying to tell every human being that they should, you know, get the jab because I say so, because I want all the power over all of you. And they want all the power without taking responsibility for having that power. Well, that's gonna fuck you up, isn't it? Because I started to realize that the true power comes from the amount of responsibility that you take on. That's where we see what real power is. It's intentions put into action, okay? And through taking responsibility. Can you hear this? Oh, they're probably tuning in anyway. Great that you're tuning in. Great. So then I started to wonder, and I'm like, hang on a minute. Let me look up the dictionary definition in the jurisdiction, okay, in law, the law dictionary. Let me look up the word authority. And guess what? It does not exist as a dictionary definition of the word authority. Doesn't exist. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Because of the fact that authority comes from the amount of responsibility you're ready to take on. And from that responsibility comes your power, which is but the enacting life force energy into the world that originates from the source of all things. That's the energy we need, okay? And I don't know if you are on the side of the world where there's the beginning of spring now, your energy momentum is going to pick up naturally, okay? Go out into nature and that's how it's going to work for you. Take off your shoes, just walk barefoot, and maybe if you're interested, start sun gazing at the beginning of the day and the end of the day. You have a 1 hour window of doing sun gazing. Ever since I've been doing that, I've been getting in this crazy information where sometimes I'm wondering, like, where's it coming from? Well, coming from here, because you want out of this mess, okay? And that's what it's about, to empower each other and to get into our power, which is perfect now because you're right in the beginning of spring, okay? Couldn't be more positive. And that is what's going to make you get into your power and just go with that wave, you know, that sine wave I was talking about, and your power will increase. Start making your intentions, whatever you want to do. You don't have to go public speaking and talk about the mafia and taking the planet back like I did the last year. That's just what I did, because when you ask me for my hobbies, I'm going to write down my hobbies: taking planets back, taking mafias down. That's my hobby. Yeah. And it's real fun, you know. You can just laugh at them for the actors that they are without power. That's what I do. But there's other people that are setting up farms, communities. Great, fantastic stuff. I know some people who are doing wilderness stuff. They go out with the children out into the wilderness and have a lot of fun. Make a fire camp, tell stories, talk, simple things. Whilst I'm taking down the mafia together with Eril and other people. Great. But it's not only the whole mafia that we're taking down. It's a mindset that we're taking down, not the actual people. Okay. Yeah, there might be real demented beings in there who really are on their power trip, always wanting more and more and more power. And they're probably also on stuff like cocaine, which makes them even more taken over by the Archon realm. The fact that they're taking cocaine, because that creates, I learned this from Eril, by the way. Cheers, Eril. That it's a neuro, how do you say? A neuro conduit, a conduit to take over the minds of people through cocaine. That's why a lot of these people, like politicians, doctors, and lawyers, they're hooked on cocaine. And that makes them more easily possessed by the demonic realm to follow the orders that is originating from the demonic domain, okay? Which goes out of this dimension that we're occupying in here. Oh, you can't see them, they can't exist. Oh yeah, sure. Where's your Wi-Fi that you're using now, huh? You see? That's how you can really decipher what's going on, okay? And they don't want you talking about it. That's why they attacked David Icke like they did, because he opened up the subject of demons. They don't want to be read, okay? They don't want to be found out, because then you transcend them and their entire paradigm that they've put on our mind. So anyways, what we are doing with the notice of liability is we are taking down, when I say we take down the mafia, we're taking down the mindset, actually, and freeing the human beings that are trapped in this paradigm. That's what it's about. It is a mindset, okay? What is the matrix? Mind control. Mind control. That is what the matrix it actually is, okay? It's a mindset. And through a notice of liability, which represents the self-correcting mechanism of a system, okay, by holding people to account and by holding them responsible. And what you're doing there is you're not going against that human being or supposed human being. You can't know these days, can you? People running around like robots. You're activating a mechanism that is embedded in the natural order, okay? That is a code within the fabric of the time-space continuum, okay? If you even just say liability, that's a code, and there's some form of energy coming in through, and it's like, whoa. I realized that when 4 years ago, I started looking into liability, and I've been studying it for 4 years now. That's why I can talk about it with great confidence, because I'm actually putting it into effect also. And you're activating that mechanism, and through that mechanism, you open the gate to free human beings trapped within that system, because the system is pyramidically structured, okay? That's why it's hierarchical. And the whole trick of this agenda is to make the liability, the responsibility, it's always put to the next level of this pyramid. It originates within the dark secret societies where they're really powerful, you know, they have these satanic orders. And their trick is to put it right down into the human domain, okay, where we're right down in that pyramid. Oh, you're nothing. We got all the money, and yeah, I don't. So that's where we are in the strata of the pyramid, and they want to put that. That's the perversion. The order for the reduction of the population, okay, and for crime against humanity, that order has to be completed at the end through humanity, so we as humanity take full responsibility for the crime that's being committed against us. How sick is that? How pathetic, you know? What a paradox. Okay? You've got no other choice than to push back, have you? So, I nearly fell off the chair when I realized, oh, that's a pyramid. Okay, let's say this is electric. This is an electric pyramid. Okay, pointing upward like an obelisk. Okay, it's also electrical. It represents more the masculine aspect of creation. Won't get deep into that now. Okay, I'll leave you with your own thoughts. That is electrical, and that can only be put into balance through the downward pyramid, which is the pyramid of magnetism, or what I call the pyramid of sovereignty. Okay, and the pyramid of sovereignty, the downward pyramid, puts the upright pyramid into balance, the natural order of balance. And that downward pyramid of sovereignty starts with one sovereign human being, you, me, that can shift the entire matrix control system hierarchically hierarchically based pyramid, and the liability from the down the strata, the level at the base of the pyramid, where the responsibility lies, and you shift up that liability into the political sphere. And what's shifting that up is the downward pyramid. So you can imagine that that pyramid, that downward pyramid, okay, is down here, also at the base of that pyramid. It's also at the base here, that downward pyramid, and suddenly it starts that pyramid of magnetism, pyramid of sovereignty. You acting as a sovereign being pushes the responsibility and liability up into the political sphere, up into the international banking sphere. How far can you go? Right up to the highest echelons of these criminals and take them down. So that's what I found out last year. I made the intention, I'm taking the planet back, not me on my own, but with other warriors. There's lots of warriors out there like you listening here, and we all have the responsibility to create positive change for our people, okay? Because that's what humanity deserves. I use a lot of pictures of children in my videos for a reason, because they're innocent, and we are also those children, and we are also innocent. Yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we've hurt other people along our journey. I've done that too. I've been hurt. But I have the courage, and I have the strength and the authenticity and the drive to truth to forgive anyone who's hurt me. Because coming back to what I said before, those trigger points and that which hurts us is also where we get our biggest strength from. It's always directly opposite to what we've been taught. Oh, I've been triggered. Oh, you're the bad guy. It just triggers something that's inside of you, which you can alchemize, integrate that emotion by not judging what's happened with your mind, which most people are doing. Oh, I've been triggered. Oh, about this and that, and now it's happened again. You're all in your mind. It's just this insane mindset that is not getting you anywhere, and it's never has never put you anywhere where you want to be. Stay with that emotion and feel it. Just be with it. It'll be gone soon. Or you talk to people about it. Talk about how you feel, okay? And when you're angry, don't vet your anger at any human being, because it's too much power, you see. Vet it somewhere out, have a gateway. And I'm sometimes also in a situation where real anger comes up. There's people around me, and I have I'm happy to have people around me that understand this. I'm 4 times Aries. Okay, his fire's coming up again. So just I'll vet out that anger and not direct it at anyone. And then it's out. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, wow, I feel much better. Okay, and that's how we shift layer by layer by layer. And we come into our heart. That heart is emotion, expression, emotional intelligence, basis for heart-based intelligence, and their worst nightmare. So it's all about energy, emotions, energy in motion. The least talked about subject, vulnerability. Okay, I had a lovely chat with a good friend of mine, Josh. I can name him. Hey, Josh. Hope you see this. Big shout out to Josh Del Sol, who started me on this journey. Take Back Your Power. He initiated Take Back Your Power and the In Power movement, which put forward into the world the aspect of liability with Cal Washington. Big shout out to these guys. okay? Because they put these crazy ideas in my mind, and I developed it further the way I understood it in terms of natural law and the natural order, and an understanding with the political sphere and how to integrate all these informations and alchemize them into one holistic picture of how it works, how liability works with responsibility, how responsibility has to do with power and authority. And then that pyramid I just showed you there is not what you're fighting against, because you start to become the capstone of that pyramid. You're that capstone, and the whole system is taking orders from you, but only when you're in alignment with the natural order. That is exactly the knowledge that they really don't want you to know about, because that's when they lose absolute control. Absolute control. And then you put out the order to the whole system that criminality is when actions are taken that cause harm to other sentient beings without liability and without responsibility. And the order is criminality is not allowed on planet Earth anymore. That's my order. And that's then fulfilled and done. Yeah, you've just taken over an entire reality, because you are one with that reality in the hermetic way of within as within, so without. I merge with the realm that I occupy. I am the realm, and all the four elements are merged with the fifth element that is me, with Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, the five-pointed star. I am the pentagram. I'm one with this reality. My will is aligned to the will of the source, in alignment with the natural order of creation. I'm innocent. I'm free. It is my birthright to be free. I cannot be free when other people are suffering around me, when the children are wearing masks, being forced to tests, old people in old people's home being forced vaccinated. I cannot be free when this is happening. I take full responsibility as the high commander of the high source that this is over now. I, as the high commander, take full responsibility over this realm. I, as the high commander of the high source, am in the position of the capstone of the pyramid, and the entire system runs on my will, which is aligned with the will of the highest source. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is, hermetically sealed and protected. Yeah. That's what it means to take full responsibility. Just to give you an example, and I have to do things like this because this is the biggest week I've ever been engaged in. And I'm saying it right here, right now. This whole crisis ends this week here in Austria. I don't know what happens in other places, but it has to end somewhere first. And I've got the feeling that it's going to end first in Austria. As I keep saying, the first domino is going to fall in Austria. Prove me otherwise. I'm happy about that too. But this is the big week, and I don't know what's going to happen, but the energy momentum is so powerful right now that I literally feel miracles are going to happen now. And no one can escape the light of the truth. And because this cycle is drawing to an end and is restarting again, it's going to happen till Sunday. And I've already written, I'm just completely honest with you, you know. In 2018, that was like a year after I dropped my studies, and I'm like, yeah, you're not doing this digital totalitarianism with me, okay? Not with this one, okay? And they had their main event about 5G in Vienna on the 28th of March 2018. Well, guess what? That's my birthday. I turned 28 on the 28th of March in 2018. Isn't that funny, huh? It's a funny Trinity, isn't it? And you have your 5G event. Oh, guess what? I'm going to get involved in that. And I fucked up the entire event. After I asked a question about surveillance and control, after asking the question, they took the mic again. They were making a mockery of me on the stage, and without the mic, I just lashed out and I said, "You're not doing this to me," basically. I don't remember the exact words. I was talking about George Orwell, control, China's social crediting system, and the Third Reich, okay? Austria. So you could hear a needle fall on the floor after I said that, because they're not fucking doing this to me, and they're not doing this to the planet, and they're not doing this to my human family, okay? Do you get it? Because I will show it, and I will act upon it till the very end, because I'd rather die a free man than live as a slave, okay? Never, ever will it happen. And because I did that, 1 week later, I get to know a black magician. And really, really crazy experiences. And this is a guy who's completely demented and arrogant, you know. And I wrote a high command twice last week, a high commander of a high source. I command you to leave this space. I take full responsibility for the land and this realm here. You have to leave now, because you, as an expression of the involutionary force, have served your purpose toward creation. And that learning lesson has been learned, and the cause of the problem is dealt with, so the problem has to cease to exist. Something like that. I wrote him as a high command of the high source, and I wrote to him yesterday also that we're fully taken over as the capstone of this pyramid. And if he's got anything that he wants to get rid of, or any unclarity still existing there, then he has to come to me. And for the first time, he has accepted it. That's how far we've come. A black magician who's absolutely full of himself. Okay, you can't tell this guy anything. He thinks he's the end product. Oh, I know everything, blah, 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 blah. I created everything, blah, 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 blah. I'm the architect of everything. Yeah, sure you are. And he's agreed. So that's where I'm seeing the first results that this is true, that we've inserted ourselves as the capstone of this pyramid. And the system is responding to us now, to our will, because of our alignment of our will with the high source, okay? There is a natural order to this realm, and we are in full alignment and express that will of the source. That's how it works. And yeah, thanks. You're in bad lockdown, seeing UK. Well, we're coming to the UK. I'm half English, that's why I'm talking a little bit British, but not really British. I've heard this often, you know, I sound South African. You sound South African. What does that even mean? I've never been to South Africa, but apparently it is. Of course you can stop it, Shirley. Why do you think you're hanging about here in this realm? Do you think you came here into this realm to experience another lockdown and Boris telling you what to do and when to wear the muzzle? Do you think you came into this realm to do that? Just answer that. Did you come here, Shirley? Did you come here to experience being locked down the whole time and wearing face nappies and getting your jab? Do you think you came here to experience that for the rest and them taking over? Ask your heart, okay? No, you didn't come here. You came here to shift that reality. Of course you don't wear a muzzle, Shirley, I know. So yeah, we're doing what we're doing in Austria, but through my dad, who's a Londoner, I've got the Irish connection also. And as you know, Eril is also from London, and we've got Ahmed, our team, already ready for action in London. So we're going to take that back, and I can't wait to get to London. Exactly. No way you came here to experience this. Okay, we're doing this together, and everyone serves a purpose and has a unique puzzle piece to the entire picture. If we don't give our puzzle piece that we have to humanity, then it's missing. Okay, and everyone loses out on that unique puzzle piece that each and every individual can give. We miss out on. Oh, I can see my dad's coming back now. Wow, that was 1 minute and 1 hour and 5 minutes of live stream. I just thought I'll do that. I've got 60 viewers. That's amazing. Yesterday on Facebook I had 1. And I said, wow, great, you know. 1 viewer. I'm just trying things out. So big week. That's why I wanted to do the video. A lot of juicy information that I shared in there now. It's really great to talk to you. I want to do this more often now also. And also what I wanted to tell you, I'm putting together the final episode of Navigating the Matrix with Natural Law Principles, episode 7, okay? Which is a very powerful number of completion, and a really magical number. And I'm gonna share that with you in the next few days, as well as the template, and as well I'm in the reunion summit of Josh Del Sol together with Eril. I'm going to share the link after underneath this one in the Telegram group, and join in on that and share that link. Would be awesome, you know, so we can get as much reach as possible. So that's what I've got planned, as well as other things. And you get the template for the notice of liability, the Navigating Matrix episode 7, and we've got a very, very big surprise for you for that summit, because we're engaged in a wonderful round table with our dear friend Lena Poo from California, who's also an expert on liability. We've also had her as an interview guest already with the Gnostic Takeover. So that is going to be really, really fascinating, and I'm going to share all of that with you for free. If you want to donate to our cause, that would be much appreciated, but that lies in your choice, and your choice only, if you think this information is helping the world get to where we want to be, one free humanity. Okay, right, that was good. Enjoyed that. That's why I'm going to do it more often. Take good care. Have a lovely day. One love.
Güzel, iyi